Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Slido. In this part, we are analyzing online shoppers purchasing intent analysis. So when a shopper or when a visitor is visiting an e-commerce website, so visitor might visit it from different browsers, different type of traffic can be there, like social media search engine. There can be different bounce rates, there can be different exit rates. Visitor can be a returning visitor, a new visitor. Visitor can be visiting in weekend or on a regular day. Visitor might be visiting the website for product details or information seeking. And this is number of rows by page value. So every page is given a value. So we will see that. So in the data set, the idea is to analyze whether visitors visit will turn into a conversion, yes or no, that is true or false. And we'll be seeing effect of different type of fields here. These are all features. So different type of features on revenue. So here we have a lot of categorical and numerical values, and we'll see the effect on revenue. This is the online shoppers intention data set. In this data set, you can see name of different type of columns here. So in the data set, the purpose is to predict whether a session ends with a purchase or not based on the user's browsing behavior and other factors. And the domain is e-commerce. There are around 12,330 instances, 18 features, which are both categorical and numerical, and one target variable is there. The target variable is revenue, whether it's false or true. You can get the data set from the official website where we have downloaded the uci.edu website. And here you can see information of different type of features. And if you will just expand this, you will see revenue is the target. So simply based on these different parameters of customer, will this visit or will this website visit, you know, turn into revenue. So that way, the company will be able to understand their target audience better, and they will be able to understand which operating system, which browser, or which region is generating more revenue. Operating system are obviously name of operating system are not given, only codes are given like 1, 2, 3, 4. You can consider them as Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. Similarly, browser name is also not given. 1, 2, 3, they are encoded. So you can consider them as Chrome, Opera, Mozilla, or Internet Explorer. We have region also. So there are several regions. These regions can be states. So in the data set that we have downloaded, these things are not given, but we will just see the effect of these regions. We will just see the effect of different type of other parameters on our output. This is administrative. Administrative means if the visit is by an admin or it is for administrative purpose. So for example, number of pages visited related to administrative functions, example login, account setting. Then we have administrative duration, that is total time spent on administrative pages. Informational, that is number of pages visit related to information seeking. Informational duration, total time spent on informational pages. Product related, number of pages visited related to product browsing. So we will see what type of numerical variables will result in revenue being true, right? And bounce rate is average bounce rate per session. If person visits only one page and leaves the website, then that visit is that is a bounce rate. Bounce rate will be 100% if only one page is visited. If more than one page is are visited in a session, so bounce rate will be 0. So this is average bounce rate for all the visitors. This is exit rate, page value of a page based on e-commerce metrics. So this is important factor, like how valuable is the page. Like this may be depending upon the price of the product. And a special day is closeness of browsing date to a special day like Valentine's Day or Black Friday. This is closeness. So you can see a special day, this is closeness, right? So with all these features in mind, Now we will start our analysis for this particular data set. Now to start analyzing the dataset online shoppers intention, we will open Power BI, and we are going to open Power BI desktop, the May 2024 version. In your case, it can be any other version as well. We will simply connect the CSV file. This is in text CSV format. Simply connect the dataset and open. Make sure you are not seeing empty column headers here and just load. Here we will quickly go to view and select any particular theme that we want to use, the particular type of color palettes. We will go to view once again, customize current theme page. We'll select the page background as a little bit darker, E6 or E9, whatever you want to choose. And after making it apply and just use some little bit of transparency. Now we have a grayish background. You can select the background as per your choice. We'll go to insert, add a text box here. In the text box, we will add the heading. This is our heading. Make the heading full width. Collapse the filter. After making the heading full width, make it bold, around 28 pixel. And after making, align it to center. And now we will select this, go to effect and select some kind of background. So we will select a background color like this, or you can select any other background color as well. So here we will reduce the transparency to make it stand out. Enable the shadow. This is online shoppers purchasing intent analysis. Font is light, we will use bold. So now this is online shoppers. Our heading is done. So the idea of this type of data sets is to see the effect of different type of variables on the output variable that we have discussed in some previous videos also. And here you can see we have weekend, we have revenue, we have visitor type, traffic type, etc. So first of all, let's say traffic type can be social media, search engine. So whatever this traffic type is, we have labeled them. Let's understand 13 or 11 or 2. Obviously, this is how the data set is given. This type of results are obtained from Google Analytics report, etc. So you can just consider them as any other thing. So let's say, for example, browser wise, we will see. So browser wise count of false and true. Okay. So for that, so when we have a categorical value and a numerical value, so here in this case, browser may be given as a number, but it is a categorical value. So we will select a clustered column chart here, and in clustered column chart, let's reposition this. In the clustered column chart, first of all, we will bring the browser on x-axis. So this will select like 1, 2, 3, 4, the browser names, and on y-axis, and then on y-axis, we will just select total number of rows. Okay. So for that, obviously we can simply select the count thing, but we can also select, we can also create a new measure in modeling, and that is simply number of rows. Okay. And we can use count rows and table. Table name is online shoppers intention. So we will select the table name, mark it, check. And here we will select our chart, and here on y-axis we will bring number of rows. You can see the browser 2, maybe Chrome, is giving most number of, from there we have most number of visits. And here first of all we will enable, in general we will select a background, transparency we will reduce to 0%. We will enable a shadow, and here we can go and select a different type of color. So in columns you can select a different type of color. For example, let's select this color or whatever, maybe this color will be better. Yes. And here we also have a title. So this is number of visits by browser and revenue. Revenue status it is, not revenue. So we can use something like that. Text color is something that we can choose or something from this palette. So bluish, bold, align center, and we can increase the size, number of visits by browser and revenue status. And here you can see that this browser number 2 has 7961. Since it's a clustered chart, so now in clustered chart we can on legend we can bring uh, you know our revenue. So let's bring it on revenue, and now you will be able to see, like in case of this particular browser, since more people are visiting from this browser, so more number of revenue true cases are also there. Okay, so and similarly you can see in the ratio, for example this browser, here we have the ratio. Obviously because of this browser's height we are not able to see other browsers because this is kind of a dominant browser. This way company will be able to track performance by different browsers. And here we can also go and enable data label, so it will show the data label values as well. Now similarly we can also create traffic type here. So, for example here we have browser. Similarly we have different type of traffics. So like traffic type 1, traffic type 2, etc. are there. So on the basis of different type of traffic also you will be see, for example this may be traffic from Google search, right? This may be traffic from social media. So in the actual report you will get that, but this is number of visit by browser and revenue figure. So this will be number of visits by traffic type. Okay. For this type of charts you can also select a stacked column chart. So in a stacked column chart you will be able to see the values properly. And here now we also have bounce rates here. So we will create a simple donut chart here, and in the donut chart we will see for revenue status true what is the average bounce rate, and for revenue status false what is the average bounce rate. So here first of all we will bring revenue in legend field here. Okay, in the chart, and in values we will bring bounce rates. Here you will be able to see sum of bounce rates. So we will say average bounce rate, and first of all we will copy its formatting. So this is average of bounce rates. Obviously legend is disabled here, so you can enable the legend, and now you will be able to see the value that bounce rate in case of average bounce rate in case of true is 0.01, which is very less. That means people who are making a purchase where revenue is true, they are visiting more than one page at a time. But in case of false it is 0.03, which is more than false, and which is more than in case of true, and number of cases are also more. Okay, so a higher average of bounce rate. You can also select like minimum or maximum here. So like minimum of bounce rate is 0, maximum of bounce rate, whatever you want to see. You can also see variance of bounce rate, right? You can see in case of false the variance is also higher, in case of true it is lower. On the basis of these different things you will be able to see number of cases of true and number of cases with average bounce rates, etc. This is average of bounce rate. We'll write simply average bounce rate by revenue type, and we can just enable this. If you want to see those numbers on the data also, so we have detail label, and we can also do one more thing. Here in label content it is showing category. We will in fact show value, and in value its number of decimal places is auto. We will show two decimal places, right? And color is something that we will choose, make it bold so that it is visible properly. As we have average of bounce rate by revenue, we can also make a copy here, and let's enable equal gaps here. And here we will use average of exit rate. Just drag exit rate and select average here. So this also shows that average exit rate for false cases is more than average exit rate for true cases. So that's why content should be engaging so that people visit at least 2 or 3 pages, and exit rate is also lower and they should make the purchase. Now we also have informational here. So first of all, we will be seeing how informational is distributed like we did here. Like the purpose of user is for visiting the page for informational purpose. Instead of traffic type here, we will use informational. And you can see most of the cases are zero, like not for informational purpose. And in that case, we have true. So this is how it is showing, like 8.4K, zero cases, like they are now visiting for informational purpose, and 1295 true. So this is how the data is distributed here. In informational, number of pages visited related to information seeking, right? And now we also have information duration. This is the total time is spent on informational pages. So we also want to see that in the same chart. So for that we will connect line and stacked column chart. It will not make any changes here, but will give us a new type of field which is line of y-axis, and here we will bring sum of informational duration, right? Like this is showing in case of 0, 1, 2. So you can see, for example, here informational 2. If someone has visited two informational pages, number of pages visited related to information seeking, then in that case we have the informational duration highest. Okay, so this can give you some kind of information related to your informational purpose content. And here we have some, we can also select average. So you can see average duration, obviously when someone is visiting more pages, right? So average duration will be higher. So, and that is what you can see here. In case of 13 informational page visits, this will be like this. So here also you have secondary y-axis, align zeros, you can enable or disable to show the average here. So if you are not aligning zeros, in that case, this is the axis of informational duration, average informational duration, and this is the axis of our number of visits, and this is our number of pages visited in the session. So this is number of pages for information seeking. And similarly we have product related information also, number of pages visited related to product browsing. So we can copy this and use it for product browsing, and in every chart we are considering our output variable, seeing the performance of our output variable, right? So later we will change their size, and this is here, instead of informational we will use product related on x-axis, then column y-axis will have number of rows, and this will be average product related duration. Okay, so this you can see here, you have a lot of cases like false, true, etc. And the difference is here we have less number of cases, like the range is small, but in case of product related number of pages visited, you can see the range is higher. Okay, so in such cases what we can do, we can create a group. So we can make a smaller bins of these range product related. So we can create, and just a minute. First of all, we will click on new group, and let's say we want it in 10 bins, right? Number of bins. So we will say number of bins will be 10 or 12, whatever you want to choose. So this will be there. Now select the chart. On x-axis, instead of product related, we will choose the bin. Now we will have information like this. This is product bin from 0 to 50, right? Number of pages 0 to 50, number of pages 58 plus, etc. If obviously 0 to 50 is a very big range, you know. So if you want to break it further, you can edit groups, and you can say we want 50 groups here. Okay, then your bin size will also decrease, and you have further information. This is 0, this is 14, this is 28, and you will be able to see that how the ratio is increasing, how the average is increasing when people are visiting more pages. Okay, similarly we can also try to see the effect of weekend on revenue status, true or false. So here you will simply bring weekend. We can see if weekend is true, weekend is false. So here it will be weekend and revenue status. This will show you this chart, and here if we enable 100%, right, 100% stacked, we will be able to see the percentage also. So here you can see in weekend true, 17% of cases are also true. Like on weekend, you can see there is slightly more revenue than week for weekend falls. So when you will use 100% stack column chart for all the bars that you have, and if you have different categories in legend, etc., so you will be able to see their percentage also. You can also select this to see the rank of different values in different categories, but here I will prefer this type of chart. Now we also have visitor type information, whether the visitor is returning visitor or a non-returning visitor, etc. So we will simply copy this, paste it here. Obviously here we can adjust their size so that we have more room for different charts. Later we can adjust their height and width. Now here, since we are talking about visitor type, instead of weekend we will simply bring visitor type, and let's try to use a ribbon chart here. So in ribbon chart you will be able to see again similarly whether the returning visitor, new visitor, and other, what is the ratio. And if you actually want to see the percentage, then obviously this chart will be better for you to understand the percentage. Like you can see in case of returning visitor, revenue true is 13%, but in case of new visitor it is more, and the other is not specified here, right, what other type of visitor it is, but that we can see that new visitors are purchasing more than returning visitors if they are visiting the website. So this is the number of visitor by weekend. This is by visitor type. Similarly, we have created another 100% stack chart here. In this chart, first we have created bins for page value. So in the bins that we have created, we have selected a bin size of 7.6, and we have used that bin on x-axis. On y-axis, the num rows measure that we created. On legend, we have selected the revenue. And now you can see that in those cases where page value is higher, in most of those cases, the revenue true is there. That means revenue is true, right? In those cases where it is lower, you can see higher percentage of false. So that means whatever metrics they are using to give value to their pages, on the basis of page value, number of sales are also increasing, number of visits, or we can say number of visitors who are getting converted into a sale are also increasing. We also have a column indicating a special day. So here you will be able to see closeness of browsing date to a special day like Valentine, Black Day or Friday, etc. So that means closeness is 1 or 0. Closeness is higher means it is very close, right? So, but let's see here in the data. You can see if closeness is 0, then it is 16.5. Maybe it is reverse of that. That closeness 0 means this day is very close to a special day. So you can see based on closeness, at least in the first three bars, we can see a linear increment. So this is number of visits by closeness or by a special day. And similarly, obviously for regions we don't have the geographical data, but we can use for regions also. And here if you want you can select a regular type of chart. So you will see for region 1, region 2, region 3, you will be able to see number of false, number of trues, and you will be able to understand significance of each region here. And we will simply write number of visits by region and revenue.